The Untold family tree. The Carters have managed to control their image like no other power couple in the industry. From platinum albums to billion-dollar deals, Beyonce and Jay-Z have shaped their public personas with calculated precision. But there's one thing they haven't been able to keep under wraps: their family tree. Because beneath the surface of luxury, legacy, and lemonade lies a network of unacknowledged siblings, secret children, paternity lawsuits, and emotional fallout that's never made its way to an official press release. Beyonce and Solange may be music royalty, but what happens when the crown is built on secrets, scandals, and children left in the shadows? Let's break it down, sibling by sibling, child by child, and when it's all laid bare, you may never look at the Carters the same way again. Knowles, Beyonce's hidden twin? Let's start with the most visible secret of them all, Knowles. One glance at her, and you'd think it's a throwback photo of young Beyonce. The resemblance is uncanny, from the eyes to the bone structure. And honestly, you'd have to be in denial not to see it. That's because Coy is Beyonce's half-sister. Her father? None other than Matthew Knowles, the same man who managed Destiny's Child and built Beyonce's career from the ground up. Coy was born after Matthew had an affair with a woman named Takoya Branscombe, a dancer he met while still married, to Tina Knowles. Takoya says Matthew treated her like the love of his life, until she got pregnant. That's when everything changed. He disappeared, emotionally, financially, physically. And when she told him about the pregnancy, his response was chilling. "You can't get pregnant by me. That's not my child." But a DNA test doesn't lie. And when the results came back 99.9% positive, Matthew could no longer deny it. Even still, Beyonce and Solange have never reached out, not once. Not even a public acknowledgement of Coy's existence. And what makes it messier? Takoya was allegedly friends with Solange before all this came out. They met through a stylist, partied together, hit up clubs in Texas, and the whole time, Solange had no idea that her friend was sleeping with her father, Nixon Nolles, from fame to homeless shelters. But Coy isn't the only love child Matthew Knowles left in the cold. Meet Nixon Nolles, another half-sibling, born from Matthew's affair with Alexandra Wright, and this one gets tragic fast. Not only did Matthew refuse to take responsibility, he also refused to pay child support, even after the courts ordered him to. It got so bad that Alexandra and Nixon ended up in a homeless shelter, surviving on nothing while the man responsible lived like a king. And again, no contact from Beyonce. No help, no visit, no photo op, just silence. But Alexandra never blamed Beyonce. In fact, she made it crystal clear. "I have never blamed her. I want the best for her. But my son, he deserves to be seen." And that's where it hits home. Because Nixon knows who his sister is. He asks why she won't acknowledge him. And Alexandra? She has no answers. How many more? So we've got Coy and Nixon. But what if I told you there might be more? There have been whispers of an older half-brother, possibly born before Beyonce, but no one has confirmed the details. The Knowles family has been painfully private about these revelations, and for good reason: the shame, the betrayal, the headlines. And honestly, maybe Beyonce and Solange just can't keep up, because every time the public blinks, there's a new sibling in the headlines, claiming a connection. Jay-Z's alleged son, Ramier Satweight. Now let's talk about the other half of this empire, Jay-Z. You think Matthew was wild? Wait until you meet Ramier Satweight. Ramir's mother claims she hooked up with Jay-Z in the early 90s, when she was just 16 years old. Jay-Z at the time was reportedly in his early 20s. After the brief encounter, she never saw him again. But years later, Ramir was told by his mother, "Jay-Z is your father." Since then, Ramir has spent a decade trying to prove it. He filed a civil suit, requested a paternity test, and was met with denial after denial. Jay-Z's lawyers allegedly lied in court, saying he had never met the woman, only to later claim they misspoke. Ramir also claimed he was fired at shortly after filing the lawsuit. Yes, someone allegedly tried to unalive him. He says intimidation tactics have followed him ever since, and here's where it gets darker. Ramir's godmother, Dr. Lily, said Beyoncé played a role in silencing the case. She even claimed Beyoncé mocked Ramir through music and said someone from her circle told him to "Go away, little boy." Leticia Mayer, Jay-Z's hidden daughter? Next. Up, Leticia Mayer, who went public on Instagram claiming to be Jay-Z's daughter. She says she's lived in the shadows her whole life, raising 4 kids, battling multiple sclerosis, and holding on to a story no one wants to hear. Her mother? Lisa, a woman who says she was introduced to Jay-Z through her sister in the late 80s. Multiple people confirmed the connection. One even said, "I hooked them up." Jay and Lisa chilled at my apartment, laughed, drank, played cards. I know. The story start to finish. Leticia also says Jay-Z paid her bills, bought her a house, but made her hide all photos of him. She wasn't allowed to talk about him publicly. But when Jay-Z cut ties, he left both Leticia and her wheelchair-bound mother in complete silence. And according to Leticia's supporters, Beyoncé is the reason. They say she didn't want any distractions from the Carter brand. Chanel Scott's son, another alleged love child, and just when you thought this couldn't get any murkier. A man named Gerald Andrews discovered that the child he raised, Malik say, was not biologically his. So who's the real father? According to family insiders, Jay-Z. Again, no public statement, no DNA test, just a growing mountain of rumors, court documents, and broken relationships, and with Jay-Z's history of infidelity, confirmed by Lemonade and 444, the public can't help but wonder, how many more? Beyoncé? The gatekeeper? And now comes the uncomfortable question, is Beyoncé protecting her peace? Or is she actively silencing those on the margins of her family? Many believe she's the one telling Jay-Z to keep quiet, to cut off Leticia, to ignore Ramir, to stay focused on the empire. They say she won't even let Jay-Z publicly acknowledge his other kids, even when the courts get involved. But others argue, she's just trying to survive the chaos created by the men around her. After all, adultery doesn't just break marriages, it fractures entire bloodlines. And maybe Beyoncé and Solange just couldn't handle watching their father create multiple children, each one a painful reminder of their mother's public humiliation. Also, Bianca Lawson is Beyoncé's oldest sibling and her only stepsister. She's the daughter of Richard Lawson, an African-American actor best known for playing Ryan in the 1982 horror classic Poltergeist, and actress Denise Gordy. Although Bianca and Beyoncé aren't related by blood, they became family through marriage. After Richard Lawson's first marriage ended, he married Tina Knowles, Beyoncé's mother, making Tina Bianca's stepmother and Beyoncé her stepsister. Bianca's acting career began at the young age of 9, and her natural talent quickly stood out. Early in her career, she landed roles in several commercials, including spots for major brands like Barbie and Revlon. Conclusion: the family tree that never blossomed. So what do we make of all this? The Knowles-Carters are a dynasty built on talent, ambition, and control. But behind the perfection, there's a broken family tree full of betrayals, silence, and unanswered questions. Coy, Nixon, Ramir, Leticia, Malik, each one holds a piece of the puzzle and a wound that never fully healed. Maybe Beyoncé and Jay-Z are victims of betrayal, just trying to move forward, or maybe they're gatekeepers of a truth they never wanted the world to see. But the one thing we do know, this story is far from over. What do you think? Are they doing the right thing by keeping their distance, or is it time to face the truth? No matter how uncomfortable it might be, let me know in the comments. And remember, in the world of fame, power, and billion-dollar legacies, secrets don't stay buried forever.
Please subscribe to my channel for more extremely exciting celebrity news.